Hello burritos, welcome back to my channel with your favorite girl, Sophie. Today we are doing the long-awaited plastic surgery Q&A. If you participated in the Instagram Q&A, thank you so much for participating. I really appreciate it. I brought all of your questions together and I made a whole ass notebook about it, so we're gonna be answering some pretty interesting questions today, so make sure you stay tuned. If this video happens to be helpful to you or you enjoyed the video, make sure you please hit that subscribe button down below. Other than that, let's get straight into the Q&A. So the first question that you guys are probably all super curious about is how much is it? What is the cost? I'm gonna break this down in Korean won, Canadian dollars, and US dollars. So before I tell you how much it actually costs, the thing about Korea is that it's Asia, right? And what do Asians do? We like to fucking bargain. So originally when I first went to them and got my consultation, they quoted me 9,140,000 won, which is equivalent to $9,293 in Canadian and $6,922 USD. The currency difference might be a little bit different, but at the time when I calculated this is the accurate calculation. But you know, Sophie being Sophie, I was just like, hey, yo, I run this like YouTube channel, you know, and like maybe your marketing team might want, you know, a little bit of advertisement. So long story short, I actually succeeded in bargaining. And so the second quote came to be 7,500,000 won, which is equivalent to $7,604 Canadian or $5,680 US. So I got my plastic surgery done at this clinic called DA in Gangnam. It's located in between Gangnam and Yeoksam Station. And the thing about this clinic is that it has a plastic surgery section and it has a whole like other skincare section as well throughout the building. I don't know if you know the influencer. She goes by the name Smoking Hot Virgin on like Instagram and stuff. You can check her page, but she's like super pretty, and turns out she also got her plastic surgery there, which is why I kind of knew I wanted to go there because that's my aesthetic, bitch. Their whole building is like huge. I think it has like maybe like 7 or like 9 floors. It's like a whole ass like building. It's like really well done and super bougie inside, and all of the staff are very nice. And I'm also very satisfied with my work as well. So if you ever want to get plastic surgery, I do highly recommend them. So I ended up getting 3 facials. I got my moles removed on my face. I got my lip fillers done to even out everything. And I also ended up getting something called a Rejuran procedure, which is, I'll insert a photo here, but it's basically just like a skin ampoule booster and it hurts like so all these skin procedures surprisingly only ended up costing me 600,000 won, which is crazy because that's equivalent to $608 Canadian and $454 in US. Crazy. Like lip fillers here for one syringe are usually around like $500 to $600 Canadian, but like $600,000 for all of this in total is actually like nuts. So if you're just looking at the whole plastic surgery section of it, we have the grand total of 8,100,000 won or $8,212 Canadian or $6,134 USD. Before I tell you about the cost of the flights and the housing, I just wanted to put out there that when you first go to the clinic, they won't quote you until after consultation. So if you're wanting to like text them and wanting like a rough quote on what your plastic surgery cost might be, they just won't tell you. Like you have to go in person for your consultation. So usually this reason being because we usually assume the procedures that we need to achieve the results that we want. But you know, obviously after a professional assesses, they might change their mind and be like, hey, actually, I don't think this procedure is suitable for you. So I'm gonna recommend you this and this and this. And this is where they get all their pricing as well. But this is only because they might recommend you different options to achieve the results that you want. So the procedures that I exactly got are something called an eye revision and a rhinoplasty. For my eyes, I didn't necessarily get just double eyelid surgery or more specifically blepharoplasty. If you know what I look like from before, also insert picture here. I had hooded eyelids, so every time I was opening my eyes, I used to open my eyes like this. So they got rid of the fat on top of it. And now when I open my eyes, I don't have to like, you know, like do this. And for my nose, they basically just like swapped my whole nose out. Like there's nothing the same about my nose that there was before. So what they did is that my original nose, again, insert picture here, was very flat, it was small, and it was short. So what they did is they pulled out my nose to make it longer. And then when they pulled it out, I had like a little bump in my nose and they decided to like shave that down a little bit. They also shaved down the sides of my nose to make it slimmer. They put silicone in the bridge of my nose and then they took the card cartilage from my ear and also an extra donation from other people, like extra cartilage, and then they put that in the tip of my nose to make my nose look the way that it is right now. For my housing for a month and a half, I paid around 1,200,000 won, which is also $1,220 Canadian and $910 USD. I stayed in something called a ko시원 or ko시tel. Like basically what a ko시원 or like ko시tel is like if you walk in, it's like a small ass room and there's like a washroom, like toilet, you know, like the shower. It's not really like a shower booth, you know what I mean? Like the toilet, the sink and everything is just in like one booth, you know, and it has like a really small ass single bed and a table, and it's just, you have everything you need in one room. And you can always stay at like Airbnbs, but Airbnbs, I figure if you're staying in Gangnam when you're getting plastic surgery, it tends to be a little bit more expensive. So I do recommend grabbing a ko시원 or ko시tel in maybe like Sinchon or Hongdae, usually a lot cheaper because there's a lot of students that go around. And now for the awaited grand total, 9,300,000 won, which is equivalent to 9,432 Canadian or $7,044 in US. This is what the entire trip cost me. So throughout the entire trip, including flight, plastic surgery, skincare, all this housing, and all my leisure, I ended up spending maybe $15,000 in a month. Yeah, so it was a pretty expensive trip, and this is literally the reason why I don't go out to Korea too often. So hence why I'm broke again. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did it hurt? So firstly, during surgery, you don't feel anything because you have anesthesia in your system. So the order of the procedure, we started with my eyes first and then we did my nose. When we did my eyes first, we did partial anesthesia. So I was like still awake, but I didn't feel anything. And then for my nose, we went for like full sleep anesthesia. So like I was like out. So I'm gonna give this a 0. The problem is after surgery. It's very, very uncomfortable. It's painful and you don't know what's going on. If you look at my plastic surgery vlog, you'll know that I took a taxi home right after plastic surgery. For after surgery, I'm gonna give it like a solid 8.5. The pain level, yes, 8.5, but I would say it's more uncomfortable and painful than just painful. How long was the recovery process? So for the recovery process, when you want to see like decent results, like most of the swelling goes down, it has to be around 3 months, but you'll still have minor swelling. For your swelling to fully fade away, it's going to take around anywhere between 6 months to 1 year. So I got my plastic surgery done back in October and it's March now. So it's been like how many months? 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So for me, it's been like 6 months. And as you can tell, I barely have any swelling anymore. Like when I first got my nose done, my side profile was like tall. It was so tall. And now it just looks really like natural and all flushed together. And to be honest, when I first got my nose done, I honestly thought I was like fucked. Like I didn't like my nose when I first got it done because it was just so swelled, but it didn't look swelled at the same time. So I just thought like I was botched or something, you know what I mean? But definitely if you want to see full results, you have to wait anywhere between 6 months to a year. So if you get plastic surgery and you're freaked out, don't freak out, you're fine. So for the next section, I brought some interesting facts about the recovery, which is post-op. For your posture, you have to sleep sitting up for about a week. And that's if you can, but I do highly recommend it because it helps a lot with the swelling. Sleeping while you sit straight up is definitely difficult, so if you can't do that, try to sleep with your face up lying down for the first month. Especially when you get your nose done, you really don't want to sleep on your side because I figured during my recovery, when I slept on my side, my nose would like tilt like this, and even though I had that little nose cast on, it would still like kind of, you know what I mean? So make sure you try your best to sleep with your face up. For your diet, you can technically eat anything you want, but try to avoid salty and spicy foods, like anything that's very like overly stimulating. I do know for a fact though that anything to do with pumpkin helps with swelling so good. I would say personally for me, my swelling went down a lot faster in comparison to other people, but usually most of your swelling should be down after about 48 hours-ish. If you happen to get your eyes done, they'll give you like this eye gel mask that you can put in the fridge to keep it cold, and you can use that for the next at least 3 days to take care a lot of the swelling. Like when I say you have to use that shit regularly, I mean like all day. Like you have to live with the ice pack. Next section, taking care of your wounds. Like a lot of people ask me how bad my stitch marks are, and honestly, you can't even really like tell. I mean, yeah, if you look at my nose like close up like this, and you could probably see some like stitch marks here, but mostly very natural. Can't see any stitch marks, so I'll tell you how. For your nose, do not take off your nose cast or the tape that's around it until they tell you to. The second or third time you go for your next appointment, they'll do it for you. So do not touch it. It is there to stabilize your nose. The huge cotton packing that's usually in your nose will be removed after about 3 days post-op. The inside stitching in your nose will be removed after about 2 weeks. And the cast and the tape that's around it, like the bulky part, will be removed in the first week. For your eyes, you're also gonna have stitches along your little double eyelid line. You don't wanna rub your eyes, you don't wanna cry, and you don't wanna close your eyes too hard, like squint your eyes like this. If you watch my plastic surgery vlog, you would see that I took a Q-tip and I started like wiping my tears out because you're not supposed to cry. Water is not good for wounds, okay? But like, shit happens. And the stitching on your eyes also comes off after about a week. To prevent any scarring, both eyes and nose, you want to apply the medicine they prescribe to you, like the ointment, 3 times a day. You also want to take eye drops for your eyes. And you're also going to be taking a lot of antibiotics and painkillers 3 times a day. 아침, 점심, 저녁. Now at this point, you're probably wondering, hey Sophie, can I take a shower? Can I wash my face? I want to put some makeup on my new face. No, you can't. Not quite yet. The most disgusting part about this is that you can't wash your face for like a week. So you can wash your face after the stitching and the tape comes off, but before that, you can't. So what I did is that I just took like a wet cloth and just kind of like wiped away all the oil and gross grease, you know. Oh, I also forgot to mention, after your stitching and your tape comes off, you can wash your face a day after that happens. So not on the day of, but the day after. For your eye makeup, you can start putting on makeup after 2 weeks post-op. You can get fake lashes done after 1 month, and you can put in contacts 3 weeks after post-op. And low-key, the worst part about this is that you can't go to the sauna for 1 month post-op. I was low-key pretty sad because when I went to Korea, I really wanted to go to Jjimjilbang, but that was unfortunately not on the list. You want to try and keep everything except the stitching areas as like dry as possible. You don't want them to be humid because it has a risk of infections. Next, we got the exercise section. You can do like daily activities. It's not like you're completely bedridden. So you can eat and you can go to the washroom and do, you know, day-to-day stuff. But like the higher intensity stuff like gymming, swimming, hiking, etc. Like, you know, you can do all of that 1 week post-op. So another question that comes with that. Hey Sophie, can I play sports? No. Next, we got a really important one. I assume that this one is quite obvious, but no smoking and no alcohol for a minimum of a month. The reason behind this is because there is a huge risk of infection and it also slows the healing process by a lot. That also includes vaping, and if you're asking me if I vaped or smoked or drank after my post-op during my time in Korea, I did, but like, don't take my example, okay? Like, everyone is different. I got very, very lucky. I had no infections and I am fine, but everybody is different and prone to different infections, so just don't do it. If they tell you not to do it at the clinic, just don't fucking do it, all right? Next question for all you foreigners out there. Would you recommend getting work done in Korea if you're a foreigner? So usually bigger or higher end plastic surgery clinics in Korea will have a lot of different interpreters for different languages. Some of the ones I've seen when I was there were Chinese, Japanese, Thai, and English. So I'm pretty sure you can definitely find yourself someone to interpret. That being said, would I recommend getting plastic surgery in the US or South Korea? Honestly, 100% I would recommend getting it done in South Korea. Just my personal opinion, but Korea's plastic surgery game is slaying the fuck out. I'm not trying to say the United States is bad, but like Korea's PS game is like bitch. And also I would say plastic surgery in South Korea is a lot cheaper than North America. Even considering like housing and flight and all of this, like you'll still get a really good deal. What do you think influenced you to get plastic surgery? I know I talked about this in my other videos before, but growing up I was insecure about my nose a lot because it was like small and flat. And although as I got older, I started to like my nose and kind of like love myself more and more, it's always been something that I wanted to enhance. And you know, I think a big part of it is that because I'm always in front of a camera, I'm always looking at myself, so it's like I kind of want to like what I'm looking at. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to look prettier or feel better about yourself, just as long as it's not like too much. Like as long as you don't go overboard with plastic surgery and then you end up looking like a piece of plastic, I think it's fine. Do you feel more confident after your operations? 100%. Not gonna lie though, when I first got my surgery done, I had a little bit of an identity crisis. I don't know if I talked about this in my plastic surgery vlog, because even though the results were great, it's like seeing a different person in the mirror is just so weird. Like I've lived with the same face for 23 years, and then all of a sudden I'm just looking at someone else in the mirror, which is kind of weird, right? But definitely for sure, I needed some time to get used to my new face. I think as more time passes by, my new face is starting to feel like me, because swelling, there's still swelling left, like minor swelling. And I think like after like a week, and then after 2 weeks, and after 3 weeks, I see like a little bit of a difference, and it makes me feel good. So yes, I feel confident after my operations. Are you not scared of what people might say to you? No? Why? I mean, to be honest guys, like I don't really give a fuck. Like it's my face. I worked hard for my money. I invested it into myself. Why is that anyone's business in the first place? I don't know. I just genuinely don't really give a fuck. I mean, it's my face. I do what I want with it. If you don't like it, that's your problem. Like, but I did see on my plastic surgery vlog that a lot of you left a lot of supportive comments. So I just want to thank you for that. If you're one of those people. Were any of my friends or family against my plastic surgery? Actually, no. Surprisingly, I had no one that was against my plastic surgery. Like my parents were supportive about it. They were like, yeah, get your nose done. As long as you don't fuck your face up, like by all means, go get a nice natural, you know, enhancement, right? My friends also, they were very supportive about it. A lot of them loved it when I came back. So no, I didn't have a problem with that at all. Were you afraid? Yeah. To be honest, before I left to Korea for my plastic surgery, I wasn't shitting balls, and then I got there and then I was shitting balls. You know what I mean? I think the scariest moment was before I was put to sleep by the anesthesia. By the time I woke up, I was like, all right, it's done. It's fucking done. I think the scariest part is that you don't know how your face is gonna look like afterwards, because there's no like AI simulation or anything. Like you just literally have to just trust, right? Like you have to trust in your doctor. So other than that, it's not all that scary. So a lot of you guys were also wondering about the exact name of the operation. So I did write it down here. So for my nose, I got a short nose correction. And then I got something called a Shimian rhinoplasty. Basically what it is when you take the bump off your nose, like I told you guys before. And then I got nose tip surgery with cartilage. And then I got eye revision surgery. So those are the 4 procedures that I had. Was it hard to breathe through your nose? Yes, bitch. Oh my fucking God. Honestly, if I had to get my eyes done again because I hated them, I honestly wouldn't be that pissed off. But like my nose, oh hell no, man. Like that shit was the most uncomfortable shit I've ever gone through in my life. Dude, just imagine like breathing with your mouth open for like 4 days. Just all day, like all day, dude. Like it was crusty as fuck and it was like stuck in my mouth. It's so gross, dude. Also on top of that, how is my breathing compared to before? So I don't know if you guys know, but I actually used to have a deviated septum. If you don't know what a deviated septum is, it's when, you know, just like search it up, but it's just, you have difficulty breathing. Like one side of your nose always feels clogged, but like, I don't know what these doctors did to my nose, but after surgery, I don't have that damn deviated septum anymore, bro. Like, I'm fine. It's actually, it feels a lot better, kinda, just because, you know, like my nostrils are bigger. Like my nose changes, my nostrils change, right? Because like back when I had like a smaller nose, like my nostrils were kind of like circular, right? And now that my nose is taller, it's like, you know, like this. It's kind of hard to like pick my nose too, because like, you know, my nose isn't as like stretchy anymore. And also because my nostrils are bigger, I noticed that like the boogies come so much easier. Like, I don't know, boogies get in there, man. Important things to know about getting plastic surgery. I think some important things to know before you get your operations done is definitely for sure do your research on your clinics. In Korea, there's this app called Gangnam Onni. So if you're Korean, you can always use that. I don't know if they have like English translations within the app, but if you're Korean, you can definitely use that. And I think I also saw this on another video before I got mine done, but someone said anytime before you get a procedure done at a clinic, search the name of the clinic on Google, and then after that type in accidents, and if there are any accidents within the clinic, like too much anesthesia, someone died, like blah 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 blah, like it'll show up on Google. So that's another good way to search it up. Honestly, like, yeah, I think that might be the most important thing to know before getting plastic surgery. Other than that, I think you just have to be ready. Like what else is there to think about? Maybe I'm just a really simple person, but Yeah, other than those two, I can't really think of much. How did the surgery impact my social media and personal life? I think definitely for sure, even though people say that you don't need to look pretty to be on social media or whatever the fuck, like that's a lie, you know? Like everyone likes looking at pretty things. Like that's honestly a fact, like let's all admit it. Even though I definitely feel like, and I know that my YouTube platform is based on the burritos who love me for me. I feel like the whole like enhancement thing with like the pretty whatever, it definitely does help. Anytime I post something, it's more eye-catching, first of all. And second of all, when people see pretty girls, they want to know more about them. And it's just a natural thing, right? And basically those two things, I feel like it just helps with a lot of exposure and parts of my career. But also I feel like with plastic surgery, everyone does have their different opinions about it. And some people aren't that nice and they'll leave comments like, oh, you look like a transgender, you look like this, or you look like that. And like, honestly, I don't really care, but you know, people say what they want to say. But overall, I think definitely it did affect my social media life a lot more positively than I figured. As for my personal life, I would say it's about the same. And I know you guys are probably thinking like, Sophie, it's not like that big of a drastic change from like your face before surgery. And yes, that's true. But definitely, yeah, when I go outside and see new people and, you know, like go out and like have fun, people ask me like, oh, did you get like anything done? Or like, oh, like what happened to you? Like, oh, you look a lot better. And it's just like, it's just nice and flattering. I also figured in Korea, because they are very superficial when it comes to appearance, people tend to treat you a lot nicer when you're pretty. And I know that's a really sad fact, and as someone who is South Korean is very ashamed of that fact, but pretty privilege is a thing, guys. Again, like I said, overall, I think this whole thing is pretty privilege. If you are prettier, people treat you nicer, and on top of that, also, you'll get a lot more people that don't like you. So you're just gonna have to deal with it, you know what I'm saying? Do you think you'll regret it, or have you ever regretted it and went on a guilt trip? Like I said earlier, when I first got my plastic surgery, I was just like, I low-key had like an identity crisis. And I'll be honest, for like the first like month or two, I thought I was gonna regret it, and then after about like 3 months when the swelling went down a lot, I was just like, you know what? It's nice. It's nice. And like, guys, don't get me wrong, like I do like my face from before. Like I never really actually had like a problem with my face before surgery. I just think that my face post-op and my face pre-op, they both have different feelings to them. Like my face from before was like a cute baby face, you know, and then now I have a face suited for my age, and it's just a lot more like, I would say I feel more like upgraded in a sense, if that makes any sense. So I would like to say that I really do appreciate both aesthetics, or both versions of myself for sure. But to wrap that all up together, no, I don't think I've gone on a guilt trip. How much time to get accustomed to your new features? Again, I think this is different for everyone, but personally for me, I think it took me about a minimum of like 3 to 4 months to fully get accustomed to my features. I mean, it's been like 6 months now, and like even now, sometimes I kind of feel awkward like looking at my face-ish, but it's definitely settling in for sure. Did you have to make a reservation long time before surgery? So for me, I made my reservation like 3 months before my consultation date. But interesting fact, what the clinic did for me, because I am a foreigner, is that they did make my appointment a lot earlier than other people's. Because I was like, yo, I gotta go into Korea and then I gotta leave in a month. And they're like, okay, I got you. Like, that's the good thing about Korea. Korea has a very like hurry, fast culture. And they're very good at prioritizing people who need to come first. But with anything, good things take time. So if you are serious about the surgery, I would recommend you call in maybe about like, again, like 2-3 months before, so they can schedule a good time for you so you can get in the country and then get out of the country at a good time. Is your plastic surgery for life, or does it require touch-ups? For my procedures, like my eye revision and my rhinoplasty, no. This is a for life thing. I believe you don't need any touch-ups at all. The only thing that the clinic told me is the next time I come into Korea, just come in for like a checkup to see if like everything healed okay and everything settled in fine. But no, you don't have to like do any more procedures or like touch-ups. Do you plan on getting anything else done? Honestly, I know there's a saying, when you get plastic surgery, you start to get addicted to it. And like, I can kind of see why that's a thing, because you know, when you get like good results, you just want to be prettier, and humans are greedy creatures, you know? I mean, like, I was thinking of getting more done, but also I kind of like this whole natural look where it's like, oh, did you get surgery? Did you not? Kind of thing. If I wanted to really get anything else done, maybe like, you know, it's called yunggwak. It's called 안면 yunggwak. So they touch like your jaw and then here and then your like forehead area and make it more like, you know, when you like put on a filter and everything's just like, you know, that's what the surgery does. So there's that. And honestly, my boobs, but like I'm already like almost like 24 now. So like, do I really want to get my boobs done now? Honestly, dude, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not really too concerned about my boobs and like the whole like face thing or whatever, but like if I had some like money laying around, like fuck it, like why not? But not the first thing on my list. Other than plastic surgery, what I really do want to get done for sure, I just want to like maybe get like braces or Invisalign, just straighten these out. And after that, I think I'm like pretty much done. I just like keeping everything like very natural. I'm afraid that if I touch up more from here, I'm just gonna get like all botched. I will occasionally put in like maybe like fillers or Botox down the line, but I don't think I'm like gonna do any major procedures probably within like the next couple of years. Okay, those are all of the questions that I have for you guys today. I hope I answered a lot of your guys' important questions. If you guys have any additional questions that I didn't answer that you really want to know, leave a comment down below and I'll definitely get back to you and reply. I'll also give you guys a little close-up before I leave of my new face. It's looking snatched. It's looking good. So this is the side profile. As you can tell, it looks a lot more, you know, like swelled down from the last video. And then this side also, this is the right side. For my eyes, looks very natural. Yeah, I would say like everything just settled in like really nicely for sure. But yes, unfortunately, that is all for today, my lovely burritos. Like always, if you stay till the end, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate y'all being here. If you enjoyed the video or if this was help to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, and leave a comment. Otherwise, I hope to see y'all in the next video and see y'all later. Bye!